It ends with a settlement? Oh boy. Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signore. We broke the news for you and I posted my initial rant-filled reaction to this. We then went live for over almost 3 hours. We had a therapy session with the fans that called in. We had some of our lawyer friends give us their thoughts via text. I wanted to give you sort of a summary of what happened, what our thoughts on now that we've had a little bit more time to digest. And obviously now everybody's reporting on it. Everybody's seeing the news. TMZ, of course, coming in there. Sources say Justin Blake have agreed to settle. Both sides released the statement, which we read prior. Not a very good statement, if you ask me. But at the end, it was interesting. Interestingly, TMZ says there's no direct apology from Baldoni. There's no apology from Blake, which is what it should read, Kim. There's no apology from Baldoni, implying Baldoni should have apologized. That's why I'm just pointing out why I'm disappointed in this, because I don't think this was a win for Justin. I think Blake and Ryan clearly pushed this settlement, and I think Justin's team had the advantage. They had him against the wall, and I'm frustrated that we're not going to get proper justice because this is sad. At the same time, I will say Christopher Melcher said it best, Kim, and I want to sort of reiterate what he said because it stuck with me, and I think he's right. As frustrated as I am due to being pulled into this case myself and others, I'm frustrated that this is our ending. But here's what Chris said. Chris Melcher: sounds like Baldoni's best case was to get a defense verdict on her claims at trial. He has nothing to win against her. A jury could do anything, so it's smart for him to not take the risk. Her walking away, Blake Lively walking away, is an admission, I think, that her case was meritless. And I think that's what I want to start first. We're also going to share Ron's thoughts and some more, but Kim and Lewis are here. As frustrated as I know a lot of people are, Chris makes a very good point. Blake walked away. Blake Lively, the one who's like, I can't wait to testify. This is the retaliation part has always been the case. We are going to go and I'm going to finally have my voice and say what I wanted. She cannot say she didn't have a voice, Kim. She withdrew her voice here and she walked away. And I'm starting to let that seep in and realize that is a pretty big win for Justin. Would you agree, Kim? What are your thoughts?
I do agree. I think, settlements in general it's a great settlement if both parties are unhappy, right? That's the point. Everybody's got to compromise to make this end. And ultimately, as much as we know that there was a lot riding on this trial, civil litigation is a lot of the time about money. And going into trial with this, I think it was going to be difficult on both parties. I understand why they have come to this decision. And I do think it should be noted that there is still ongoing litigation involving Jennifer Abel and Stephanie Jones and that whole thing of it. So we may still see a day in court for some of these issues. But I do think that I find it surprising that Ms. Lively has decided to settle at this point with how vocal she has been about wanting to fight this to the end and go to trial and everything else. So I understand also with the TMZ article, them saying there's no apology from Baldoni. And I would assume they're saying that in part because he is the defendant. But yeah, so basically Blake walked away from a trial that she said she was, or that, there was a lot of hullabaloo that she was going to be doing. And there's no apology from Wayfair for any wrongdoing.
Yeah, I've adjusted the title of this video to Blake Lively drops her case. She's not going to trial. Justin wins. I mean, Lewis, I want to go to you because you were sharing my frustration. The statement is weak. I'm not going to take that back. I think you agree, Lewis, right? This statement here, which we read previously, you can go watch our last statement, you can pause and read it yourself. This is a weak statement. And this alone seems like it's a loss on Justin. But now I'm coming back to what Chris said, and I think he's got a point, right? Blake put this up. Blake was fighting this. Blake's voice was to get the right thing, and no one stopped her. She left on her own accord, Lewis. Where do you stand on it?
Dude, their statement says we recognize her concerns, right? Miss Lively's concerns, pretty much. That leaves it open for TMZ to state, in my opinion, that Justin Baldoni should apologize somehow. That kind of leaves an opening for that. So that backs up TMZ, whether you like it or not. And another thing that I noticed from here and doing the live with you is that the people calling in, people's opinions in the chat, they're they're not that a victory, man.
No, 81% is mad. You're right, Lewis. Let's. I'm trying to make this
not
positive,
a victory dance from the crowd, from the fans, Justin Baldoni fans. It's not a victory dance. It's not the Ewok celebration. It's not.
It's not this celebration. I'm playing the Depp win, which we all lost it. There you are, Lewis. Everybody, we're all losing it. Larby's crying. That was what it was all for, that Johnny fought for all the way. And yeah, I think we all thought Justin was that confident, right? And he was going to take it all the way. And not only did he not, you're right. He acknowledges the process presented challenges and recognized concerns raised by Miss Lively deserve to be heard. Now, again, he's not confessing anything. He's not admitting to wrongdoing. Concerns deserve to be heard. He heard them. He doesn't agree with them, but it still reads, I agree with you, poorly, no?
Yeah, it does. It leaves it a little bit open there, man, for interpretation. It kind of, I mean, here is like, hey, Miss Lively, I did something wrong. If, you know, I'm not going to apologize, but I'm sorry you felt that this action made you feel that way. Like if he did something, you know, and that's what I'm getting out of it, right? Maybe I'm crazy.
I think it's interesting when you look at the, you know, the case as a whole, because a huge part of this has been that, you know, Lively felt uncomfortable. Lively then raised her concerns of feeling uncomfortable, and Wayfair made the decision to, you know, change the way that things were going so that she would be more comfortable. And she even told one of her co-stars that it was like a whole new set and everything was great. So, I mean, basically what they're saying is like, yeah, we recognize that you had concerns. We heard them. We changed them. Okay. Like, to me, that sentence is no different than what we've heard through this whole case.
That's
like,
true.
yeah, she complained and we listened. Why are we here?
And one of our callers, Matthew, shout out to Matthew, made a good point about Justin, his faith. Sarowitz, Jamie, Justin are Wayfair. And they, you know, believe in forgiveness and moving on in peace, it seems. I've learned that from people I've talked to who've worked with Justin. Like, it's very crucial to him. You could see in the text, Kim, right? He didn't want to cause any pain to Blake throughout this whole process. He was complimenting her during all his press. Blake refused, even though Sony behind the scenes was asking her to. That's what's so crazy about it all. But yeah, we remain firmly committed to places, you know, we're free of improprieties. They've already agreed to that. You know, closure, hope this brings closure to move forward and in peace. But also, look what they did give her another one, including a respectful environment online, kind of caving like, leave her alone, guys. Stop bullying her. Yes, she was bullied. It's respectful. I get it. They're being better people here, sure. But I don't know, man. They ran him through the coals. And it's frustrating to see this as the workaround. Now, that said, I want to add what Ron said. I teased that earlier. But Ron implicated, and we're going to try hopefully get him on at some point. Ron says, somebody's paying somebody. I read that statement, the one we just read, as she's paying him money. His concession is limited to this statement. So I asked again, so you think she's getting paid, or he's getting paid from that 100%. There's no effing way it's a wash. So take that as you will. Again,
and that's Ron's speculation and opinion.
Of Ron, lawyer, but he is an experience. He does these often, Kim. Why would he have? He doesn't believe that they would have just been like, okay, fine. And this was their agreement unless something else exchanged hands. But sadly, as he makes it clear, we'll just never know those terms. We're not allowed to know those terms. That's what's going to happen. I then asked again, we'll get Ron on to confirm all this more detail, but can Justin still appeal against Blake? No, that's done. There's nothing to appeal now. The case is dismissed. And so the settlement buys everyone peace. The terms of who paid who, or that someone gave up something to compromise is important, but we will likely never know what those terms were. And that's why I think a lot of people are going to be so disappointed about. This became a big public story to fight for justice and the truth. Justin rallied a lot of people. A lot of us got involved personally, creators and other people who were subpoenaed or text messages were included. So yeah, I do have some frustration here. I'm not going to lie, but I can also acknowledge and see this is a loss for Blake Lively. As frustrated as I am of them sort of caving, if you will, I hope we learn more about the case moving forward as to why. And I also have to acknowledge, and I want to make sure we're not burying the lead here for Kim and Lewis. This is a massive loss for Blake Lively. This was a case she brought up against Justin, one that she's been incredibly vocal every step of the way. No, we're winning. And no, this is right. And we got this. And we're so excited. And And 2 weeks before trial, she gave up. Yeah, I could argue Justin gave up. He could have fought her all the way, but the reality is it's not his case. It's Blake's case. It was Blake's complaint. Blake brought this up. Blake didn't have her voice taken away by the court or the judge. Let's also remember that. Remember, Kim, I was worried she was going to say, oh, I didn't get to do it. No. Now you don't get to claim that, Blake, because you dropped it for the sake of peace 2 weeks before trial, when juicy stuff was really about to come out and you guys are going to be under oath. The same time, which we're going to discuss later, you were potentially caught lying under oath. There was a lot of juice still coming, Kim. So all of that brings me back to one more point, which is our documentary is not going anywhere. In fact, our documentary is probably more important than ever. So It Ends with Justice is still in production. We are going to be adjusting a little bit of our episodes, but still fast tracking this to get released. You're not going to miss it. Become a member today. You can still, I think by end of tomorrow, Tuesday the 5th, you can still become an investor. Go to itendwithjustice.com or Popcorn Planet. Click to the documentaries page. You can invest in the project by becoming an investor still. You have like 24 hours left. So go check that out. Become an investor. You'll get your name in our project. We are still delivering it. All of you that helped us get to New York, thank you. I assure you, as I told you, there's still some non-refundable fees that are going to be taken care of, as well as now a lot of amazing post-production mastering, mixing, and more animated graphics now that I can be able to tweak in thanks to all that you that helped. So please know, as we said, it was all in the description, those funds will be used to good. Because Kim, I want to end this, and Lewis, your thoughts. I think the documentary really can be something incredibly important now that we're not going to trial. Do you agree?
Yeah, I do. Actually, I'm so sorry. I missed the name of the person who said it in our chat, but just said something like, you know what? It Ends With Us is actually a fitting title because it does. It ends with us as the public, and where we sit with a story like this, and, the court of public opinion here. And the court of public opinion, from what I have seen, has been very heavily on Justin's side the longer that this has gone on. So I guess I know we're going to keep working on it. We're going to get it out as soon as we can. And we really are thankful for all of your support as well.
Lewis, as I cue a song to end on, what are your thoughts?
I hope everyone learns something from this. The people we make powerful in Hollywood use their resources to silence YouTubers and journalists. That's a big lesson. So be more mindful of who you support financially. And hopefully it's not Blake Lively with her subpoenas.
It started with us. It's going to end with us. We are not letting it stop. Make sure you're blasting on Not Your Dragon, because they can't erase us.
You can shame me and ghost me and mess with my placement, but I won't be kept in the basement.
We're not your dragon, Blake! And we're not giving up. Go check out our tune. It's going to be part of the doc. So proud of it. So proud of all of you. Stay tuned. We got a lot more coming your way here on Popcorn Planet. Available on all Spotify, listening, even Instagram Reels. Go tag it.